Проверка. Проверка.
О, Алексей, привет.
Привет.
Приятного аппетита.
Спасибо.
Как дела на работе?
Там много всего происходит.
Мгм. Ну, тебя сильно загружает, я так понимаю, да?
Ну там дед душный.
Мгм. Ханьте какое-то обновление на 12 гигабайт. Ханьте какое-то обновление на 12 гигабайт.
Я это выходной воскресенье поздно вечером роутер устанавливал. Да.
Мгм.
И фаервол, возможно, не настроил как надо. На самом деле я там только одно правило написал, это отбрасывать входящие пакеты.
Мгм.
Могут быть проблемы сейчас, но я не уверен.
Понятно. Ну, у тебя глубокая настройка роутера, да, бывает стандартная?
Я только одно правило написал, отбрасывать все пакеты.
А, входящие.
Да,
Мгм.
извне.
Понятно.
Я в один из дней перенапрягся, у меня на 20 минут сильно зрение снизилось. Офтальмолог говорит, что это из-за перенапряжения.
Ничего себе. Но это случилось, то есть ты с кем-то поссорился или очень сильно напрягся в плане умственно?
Я потаскал коробки, потом достал старый моноблок, чтобы посмотреть, какая у него там неисправность. Ну, в будущем это пригодится, чтобы отправлять в сервис. Я знал, что он как-то сломан, но надо было понять как. У него ребел экран, что-то с матрицей. Ребел, мерцал. Попробовал настройку сделать программную. В какой-то момент заметил, что у меня по центру глаза я ничего не вижу, а размытое пятно такое мощное. Я вообще ни на чем сфокусироваться не мог.
Ого.
Довольно стрёмно.
Жесть какая.
Ну да. Через 20 минут прошел. А глаз не болит, ничего. Просто раз, и ничего по центру не видишь.
Фига себе. Ну, у тебя вообще первый раз такой в жизни, да?
Да.
Офигеть.
Раньше только в кино видел. Я прописал там витаминчики капать и пить.
Ладно, Лех. Хорошо, все, не буду бомбить, так и быть. Пожалею тебя. Ты знаешь, предопряжешься еще. Даже не знаю. Так, ладно, хант потом обновлю. Для этого сейчас. Завтра, может, ханта сыграем, кстати. Сейчас, если Борду сегодня пройдем. Не, Борду мы сегодня не пройдем до конца.
Кстати, я завтра должен буду дома быть ну, днем, короче, до 6. Буду ждать посылку.
Ну мы сможем сыграть днем ведь, да?
Да, но я буду ждать посылку.
Понял. Как только посылка придет, ты сразу пойдешь получать.
Да, мне надо будет выйти, спуститься и поднять где-то 15 килограмм сюда. Буду надеяться,
Понял.
что лифт работает.
А у вас лифт не работает, что ли, бывает?
Работает. Но
Мгм.
бывает и не работает.
Да ладно, что в Москве не работал лифт, ты что там? Сказал, с ума сойдут, там люди бунт поднимут, как так лифт не работает.
Да нет, тут все терпило.
А, ну у вас там типа такие живут пацанчики с района. Я
Да не, терпило.
М. У нас как-то лифт не работает.
Чем быстрее ты попробуешь зайти, тем раньше мы узнаем, есть ли проблема с фаерволом.
Я захожу все.
Просто от меня соединения точно идут, а вот ко мне могут не идти. Может быть, то, что мы через Steam как-то друг друга видим, ну, это нивелирует.
Надеюсь, все будет хорошо, Леха. Потому что сейчас заниматься роутером, это, конечно, тот геморройчик. Ах. Бля, и так... Погоди, я тебя вижу.
Попробуй зайти.
Присоединяюсь. Загрузка.
Хорошо.
Сейчас мы все узнаем. Минут через 15 геймплея. Будет уже точно понятно, вылетаю я или нет. Так, 41 уровень, 0. Утверждаем. Так, ну, я в игре, у тебя все. Бегаю, прыгаю, все нормально.
Ну да.
В июле, кстати, Uncharted на ПК выйдет. 4-я часть полностью. С DLC крупным.
Мило.
Там защита... Ну, там защита, может, какая-то будет. Ну, можно будет ознакомиться, я думаю. С игрой.
Tonight, we're gonna watch the Vault Hunter take on the ravenous Waddle Gobbler! You're looking good.
У тебя усы, что ли, появились? Встань на месте.
Какие усы, Лёх? Нет никаких усов у меня.
А у меня есть усы?
Нет, у тебя боевая раскраска просто и все.
Потому что я прирожденный боец.
Хотя, где у меня усы ты видишь?
Да это я так сказал просто. Просто интересно, вдруг он что-то дал, я подумал, может, усы дал.
Я что-то...
Нормальная логика.
Ну, может быть, он сейчас даст усы, я не знаю, за этот квест. А что он хочет сделать с ним? Я поближе подойду.
Thank you! How do you feel about the Vault Hunter's chances against the ravenous Waddle Gobbler? Will they win? Will they die? Your thoughts! You don't sound competent! Further questions! Who is the most attractive person on Pandora? That's an awful thing to say! Ellie's like a 10! Transmitting your definition of beauty, you chump! No! I'm done talking to you! Your grasp on body politics is lacking at best! Oh, looks like we're out of time! We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor! Hey! Get over here so I can whisper some things to you in secret! Really? The Goblin fight is real. The Torn Board of directors.
Смотри, тут бабка Торг сидит.
Beatable. So we need all the contestants and get us
Бабуля его, что ли?
on the echo now. But I don't want you to die.
Может,
Ну,
это
какая-то это...
Oh crap, I'm not whispering
Немножко подкачалась, да?
bad. You gotta get into the kitchen. Kill everybody.
питание у них в семье такое полезное.
Watch the poison.
Да, да.
Делают подход, и за ним еще подход.
Eat 'em.
Надо подкачаться, надо подкачаться.
And we're back. The Vault Hunter's in the kitchen. But today there's a new item on the menu. Murder! Vault Hunter!
Он рубит.
The chef!
А, господи, это противник оказался.
Don't scavenge my stuff! But my gear just...
Anton Smith here, president of the Torg Corporation. You do well to ignore Torg's instructions if you wish to stay alive.
With the chef's dead, we can prepare our own meal for the gobbler! Get to the freezer!
Давай, где жрачка?
А почему мы не должны следовать указаниям Торга?
Хороший вопрос. Я не знаю. Но мистер Смит не хочет, чтобы мы следовали указаниям Торга.
Кто такой мистер Смит? Я вот что
Door's
имею в
locked.
виду.
Let me activate my remote lockpick.
Написано президент корпорации Торг.
На заборе тоже написано.
Мгм.
I need another head.
Я к тому, что его никогда не встречали.
We do not allow contestants in the meat locker. Leave at once.
We gotta choose some meat for the gobbler's meal. Tug on the tastiest looking scat corpses. This is
А, какие скаки, замороженные, что ли?
and I don't care.
Да, бери замороженный.
Start the anarchy.
Leave us alone.
Oh,
At least I won't have this with mine.
У них довольно большой штат мясников.
Mouth is watering.
Ну, тут, наверное, любой считается мясником. Дай только тесак.
Жесть, какие у них тут эти, смотри, устройства.
Your planning, but I don't like it. Tributes, get the Vault Hunter out of my kitchen.
Блин, ну это и так текает.
Да,
Hot diggity! Those dudes didn't stand a chance. You almost feel bad for them, then you start laughing because you were technically acting in self-defense, so screw them! Violence doesn't solve anything except for all the things it does!
Как наверх забраться?
может там
За
рычаг есть
пунктом
какой-нибудь?
управления есть лестница.
Да ладно.
anybody need some healing?
Какой-то робогном пытался вылезти. Я не разглядел,
Понял.
что это.
Ты выстрелил.
The meat! Get to the kitchen!
Ты выстрелил прежде, чем он успел появиться.
Torg, as president, I demand to know why the hell the Vault Hunter is running around backstage.
Just trying to mix things up!
Your job is not to mix things up. Your job is to flex your muscles into air guitar solos, idiot.
Words can hurt! Let's get a grip!
Так, мясо на конвейере, я вижу.
А, это камера была. Понял.
Да, это камера.
То есть я в камеру не стрелял.
Grind, grinder!
Если бы я понял, что это камера, я бы не стрелял.
Delicious! We're nearly done preparing the
Глаза
burger's
плавают.
meal. With them
Кишочки.
prepared, we only need
Да,
one
да.
more ingredient.
Искупнусь. А, хорошо.
Я смотрю, что мало с всяким таким дерьмом.
Что он хочет?
Да. Он хочет найти гнезда игла пыров каких-то. Это твои любимые живоглоты, которые невидимые. Может, как-то снизу можно пройти?
So I'm
Нормально.
actually going to open this door remotely without blowing it up. Psych!
Нихера себе.
You know you're following
Oh,
an
как
idiot,
мило.
yes?
Мгм.
Torg created his explosive gun tech, then sold it to us for $12 and a high five. We kept him on purely for PR reasons. But you've both outlived your usefulness. Tribute, kill.
Closes a door, I blow it the f up. Hey, make sure to get a slag weapon on the way.
Just wait
Yeah,
until
нет,
I
сколько.
reload.
У меня тоже.
Smack the jabber nest to wake him up. Now slag the jabber.
Accuracy's overrated anyway.
Может, это выпало из этих? Я сбегаю.
Из мобов?
Отвлекай пока.
Да, давай, я пока уйду в стелс.
Welcome, customer. Don't die. I need your business.
А там нет бочки типа какой-нибудь?
Нет, не вижу пока. Ну там какая-то хибара есть, смотри, Леха. Могу посмотреть. Там магазин есть, погоди, может в магазине продается.
It's a fine day, full of opportunity. Farewell, friend. I've
Нет,
always
нету.
got new stock.
Тут тоже
Check
нет.
back later.
Ну чё, хорошее дополнение было, мне понравилось.
Ну да.
Как бы ничего не поделать. Квест непроходим. Ага. Ладно, пошли смотреть, что в банке в убежище.
Мы же можем еще вернуться сюда. Раз пришли, надо до конца уж добить этот квест.
If you got the money, I'll save your gold-earned life.
Марк, у тебя есть что-нибудь?
I got them, you need them.
I got no work for you.
Да,
Come
есть.
back later.
Все, мы готовы.
Аля. Делаем подход.
Куда он улетел?
You gotta slag the jabbers before you kill them.
Ты, я очень хочу.
Candace told me a single
Start to
slag
stay.
jabber, Clint, would be enough to kill a monster the size of a planet. So get a few more. Keep grabbing glands. I want the monster full of poison because poison is spicy and spicy food
Отлично,
is like an explosion before your mouth. Woo! You got all the glands. Now pop them into the gobbler's dinner and you'll be ready to fight them.
Why do you insist on being a moron, Torg? This is why you lost a controlling share of your own company. I knew I should have killed you when I had the chance.
Они не могут поделить пост президента компании.
Дед такой не того.
Да.
Now add the poison glands to the marination vat.
В маринатах? Это что такое?
Hit that button to marinate the out of that meal.
Ну ладно, пусть маринуется. Я не против. Кнопка здесь? Нет.
The meal's almost ready. Let's get cooking. Start the conveyor of cookery.
Решил поехать тоже, да? Нет, ты не проедешь.
That's it. You've gone off script one too many times, Torg. Today's meal is canceled. Chefs, shut down that oven.
We can't stop now. Protect the oven. I swear by my abdominal muscles, I will eat the ravenous bottle cobbler.
I want that oven shut down. I want the Vault Hunter dead. And I want Mr. Torg's head on a plate.
Satisfaction!
The chefs want to shut off the oven. Stop them from doing so.
Leave us alone!
The chefs want to shut off the oven. Stop them from doing so. Don't let those food snobs destroy our culinary masterpiece. Don't let those food snobs destroy our culinary masterpiece. Food's done. Go get it.
Погоди, не подбирай, хочу видеть, как вылезет.
Да, давай. Нажимать?
Да. Вообще, за что он может.
My taste buds are aflame with the power of 1,000 nuclear bombs. My mouth is watering so much you could drown a small village in my cheeks. The taste apocalypse is upon us.
Вкус апокалипсис грядет, он сказал.
If you kill that gobbler, Torg, it'll be your last meal. The board of directors and I can guarantee that.
Guns. I got them. You need them.
Эй, тут облик на сессии.
You can always trust the gun at your
Похоже,
side.
раскраска.
Уже доступен вам.
I'm always happy to take your
Тогда
money.
я возьму.
Let me know if anything catches your eye. Welcome to Dr. Zed's portable clinic. What
В
can
какую камеру нам идти?
Да, выбирай любую, но не мою.
Я пойду в
Потому
третью.
что я номер один. Не, что-то не
Чё?
хочет. А, вот поехал.
А, не нормально.
You know why we made the Gobbler invincible, Torg? So you could kill him. After dozens of failed attempts by other contestants, you were supposed to finally kill it on camera while wielding our most expensive guns. You would have looked like a hero.
Why be a hero when you could eat one?
You are the dumbest person in the world. I paid several other contestants to kill you if the Gobbler can't, Vault Hunter. You and Torg will pay for your idiocy.
Here comes the ravenous Wild Gobbler! We've
Oh,
replaced
это
this
индюк.
normal food with poison! Let's see if he notices! He took the bait! Now just don't die until the poison takes effect! Wild Gobbler!
Патроны.
No, you idiotic mercs! Don't shoot the Gobbler, shoot the Vault Hunter!
The poison's working! It's working! The Gobbler is killable! Let the taste violence begin! I'm gonna eat them!
This is your last chance.
May or may not
Hold us all, or you're out of the... You just disobeyed a direct order from your president, Torg. You're dead.
I am so scared! I know you can't tell because of the tone of my voice, but that was sarcastic! Anyway, come on back whenever, Wild Hunter!
Maybe I'll use you to blow a midget's head off. Or maybe I won't.
Not bad.
Немножко иридия.
Достойная награда.
Мгм. Именно так.
Риди не выпал.
А жалко. Башку дали новую.
My grandma's a pretty big fan of yours. Could you go say hi to her?
Oh man, it's the Vault Hunter! You are awesome! Didn't you fight Terramorphous? I fought a big creature like that once. He was a big whale squid with 100 tentacles. You ever fought anything with tentacles? Oh, of course you have. Terramorphous had tentacles, how silly of me. Now, where was I?
I am so sorry.
All right, the whale creature. His name was Blowhole the Apocalypse. I called him the Apocalypse for short. And he attacked my hometown of Tsunami's Edge when I was but a little girl. You ever been to Tsunami's Edge? Great town, nice beaches, great food, and the cost of living is just so low. Even being a single grandmother and working part-time in a scat meat processing factory, I was still able to provide for little Mr. Torg. We may not have been able to afford the finer things in life, like food, but we got by. After all, Mr. Torg and I didn't
Ладно, я
have
понял,
anything with one
что
another
вернулся.
after that horrible gas leak blew up the iridium mine, killing my son and his lovely wife. From that day onward, my little Mr. Torg vowed to conquer explosions themselves in an effort to avenge his fallen parents. And oh man, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Where was? Oh right, the Blowhole the Apocalypse. So anyway, I was wrestling Blowhole to the ground, and I have my bicep curled around his blueberry throat. Blueberry? Sorry, I meant to say blubbery. I've got blueberries on the brain, I guess. I grow them in my backyard. Mr. Torg helped me plant them. Thanks again for that, grandson.
I love you, Grandma.
Anyway, I have my bicep around his blubbery throat, and Mr. Torg starts crying because he really likes whale squids and he doesn't want to see me hurt one.
They are the princes of the ocean!
So I let the whale go after giving it a punch in the eyeball so he'll remember me, and it swam away into the ocean. And then I had Mr. Torg drive me to the ice cream parlor. He got me Rocky Road, because Rocky Road's my favorite. I'm extremely partial to the way the marshmallows act like little landmines of flavor amidst the battleground of chocolate. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Is it pistachio? I bet it's pistachio. Oh, that reminds me! You'll never guess who I saw today! Pistachio the Amazing! He's a magician who studied under Crazy Earl, so he's got that weird mustache, you know, but I saw him make a rack hive disappear. A whole rack hive! I said to Mr. Torg, Mr. Torg, wasn't that amazing? And he said, yes, it was, Grandma. Didn't you say that, High Five? You remember saying that?
I remember, Grandma!
What is the whole...
And we stood in line afterward and got his autograph, and I thought I had it somewhere around here, but it's probably in the attic. I really ought to go up there and clean it out one of these days. I have so many little keepsakes up there. You're paying attention, right? Say, what's my favorite flavor of ice
my
cream?
mobile death machine, and I sliced my arm on some sheet metal. Not a big cut, barely goes like halfway into the bone. And it
Алло.
occurs to me, I could just jet the wound
Алло.
with an Omni Hypo and get back to soldering a bicycle horn to the top of the tactical nuke launcher. But what's the point? So I figure what the hell, and slice the rest of my arm off with my particle saw. And my dad's all, "Bleh," and the blood's going everywhere. But a few hours and a few pints of blood later, I built a metal arm strong enough to smash concrete. Good times.
Я здесь.
Привет.
Мгм.
Ну, я вернулся минуту назад, и, по-моему, бабка спрашивает что-то про свой рассказ, и надо выбрать фисташковый или Рокки Роуд. Тебе какой больше нравится?
Я не знаю, что такое Rocky Road.
Тогда давай его выберем.
Also, you are listening. How wonderful. You're an even better listener than my old pet rack, Beasto. Beasto was such a sweetie. You ever had a pet rack? If you can tame them, they are the sweetest pet you'll ever have. He used to just sit on my shoulder and bite chunks of flesh out of my neck to pass the time. I still remember the way he used to tweet. He went, tweet, tweet. It was so cute. I had a conversation with him once. I said, Mr. Beasto. He liked being called Mr. Beasto. It made him feel like an aristocrat. I said, Mr. Beasto, you're looking very cute today. And he said, oh, thank you. That's so nice. Or he tweeted in a way that made me know that's how he felt. And then he lowered his little head like he was taking a bow. It was adorable. Beasto was my third pet rack. First I had Woody. He got hit by a train. Then I had Anita. She got shot up trying to take vengeance on the train that killed Woody. And then I found Beasto making little poops on the windmill outside our house. After Mr. Torg and I wrestled her to the ground, I did a flying pile driver off a nearby tower tree. Got him straight in the spine and brought him down. We brought him in and fed him some skag steaks until he decided he loved us. I still miss Beasto sometimes. He
Да,
was
хороший
very
рак был.
sweet. Racks don't live much longer than a few years, but I treasured the time we had together. Oh, poor Mr. Torg. When Beasto died, he cried for a week. The kids made fun of him at school, but I told him not to pay them any mind.
Being in touch with your emotions is not a character flaw!
That's right, High Five. Is something wrong? You look confused, Vault Hunter. Oh, you probably haven't heard anyone call Mr. Torg High Five before. The world may know him as Mr. Torg, but the Flexingtons always refer to him using his middle name. It's a Flexington family tradition, after all, to use your grandfather or grandmother's name as your own middle name. And my husband, High Five Flexington, God rest his soul, was the best grandfather Mr. Torg could have asked for before he passed. He taught Mr. Torg dang near everything he knew about firearms. Without High Five's teachings, I don't think the Torg Corporation would exist at all. Gosh, I still remember the first gun Mr. Torg tried to make after his parents died. A Jacobs shotgun with a stick of dynamite attached to the barrel. Torg nearly blew his face off, but he got up, dusted his mustache off, and swore that by the time he reached the age of 11, he would make a gun that fired explosions without killing the operator. And by golly, he did! It took a couple of dozen prototypes before he got the right combination of gun parts and explosives, right? But once he did, woo-wee! I'll never forget the plume of smoke that used to be my neighbor's homestead. They were jerks, though, so it's okay. Gosh, I've been talking your ear off for some time, haven't I? It's so kind of you to listen for this long. I've taken up too much of your time already. Please don't feel like you have to stick around any longer. As a matter of fact, take this for giving this old woman some company.
О, $5. Один
$1 бакс. Да пошел ты. Да не...
You're even more attractive than Mr. Torque said you were.
Ну ладно.
Что такое
Oh, I
Еще
just
одну
thought of
историю
something else I
послушать.
wanted to tell you.
Ой, давай
I
послушаем.
got another story for you, but I'd like to tell it to all of your friends at once. An old lady like me has to save her voice, you know. Oh, you still want to talk with me? How incredibly sweet of you. Say, you'll never guess who I saw today. Captain Scarlet. She was robbing my retirement home with a few other brigands, and I recognized her from her wanted poster, and I said, "Oh, hey, you fought the Vault Hunter, didn't you?" And she bowed all elegantly and said something like, "Indeed, I did, madam," and said that you were really good at fighting, and that you beat her fair and square. She didn't seem to harbor much of a grudge about it. Nice girl. You should think about meeting up with her again if you're not shacked up with her, you know? I mean, of course, you probably are. Gorgeous hunk of a vault hunter like you. I bet you're beating away suitors left and right. Look, you're blushing. Oh, I could just eat you up. Mr. Torg was so scared of trying to get a date for such a long time. He used to go to parties in high school and just stand in the back without talking to anybody.
I am an introvert!
I tried to tell him, I said, don't worry about chasing love. If you chase your dreams, then love will follow. See, that's the thing people don't get. You watch Echo films and they're just awful. They teach you that the only way to be with someone is just to pursue them over and over until they decide they like you. In reality, you know when you like someone almost immediately. You can't really convince somebody to fall in love with you. You just look like a stalker. But if you do things that you're interested in, like making guns that explode or killing mercenaries, then people will see that confidence and skill you have and they'll be attracted to it. There's always a fine line between that kind of confidence and narcissism, you know? There's nothing worse than somebody who wants to be famous. I remember when Mr. Torg first sold his weapons tech to that board of directors, he was pretty egocentric for a while. Taking pictures of himself and posting them to the EchoNet all the time. Trying to hobnob with every celebrity that used his weapons. He came back home one day with a supermodel under... Oh no, you're leaving? I won't take up any more of your time then.
Молодца, Артём, спасибо.
Я...
Ты все правильно сделал.
You're not busy, are you? I got another story for you, but I'd like to...
Что, ты опять будешь слушать, что ли?
An old lady like me has
Да, давай послушаем.
Oh, you still want to talk with me? How incredibly sweet of you. Say, you'll never guess who I saw today. Captain Scarlet. She was robbing my retirement home with a few other brigands, and I recognized her from her wanted poster. And I said, "Oh, hey, you fought the Vault Hunter, didn't you?" And she
Бля, Артём, хватит бегать. Или пошли отсюда. Сам же хотел историю слушать.
Да, давай послушаем.
She didn't seem to harbor much of a grudge about it. Nice girl. You should think about meeting up with her again if you're not shacked up with anybody, you know? I mean, of course, you probably are. Gorgeous hunk of a vault hunter like you. I bet you're beating away suitors left and right. Look, you're blushing. Oh, I could just eat you up. Mr. Torg was so scared of trying to get a date for such a long time. He used to go to parties in high school and just stand in the back without talking to anybody.
I am an introvert!
I tried to tell him, I said, don't worry about chasing love. If you chase your dreams, then love will follow. See, that's the thing people don't get. You watch Echo films and they're just awful. They teach you that the only way to be with someone is just to pursue them over and over until they decide they like you. In reality, you know when you like someone almost immediately. You can't really convince somebody to fall in love with you. You just look like a stalker. But if you do things that you're interested in, like making guns that explode or killing mercenaries, then people will see that confidence and skill you have and they'll be attracted to it. There's always a fine line between that kind of confidence and narcissism, you know? There's nothing worse than somebody who wants to be famous. I remember when Mr. Torg first sold his weapons tech to that board of directors, he was pretty egocentric for a while, taking pictures of himself and posting them to the EchoNet all the time, trying to hobnob with every celebrity that used his weapons. He came back home one day with a supermodel under each arm, and I said, Mr. Torg, what are you doing? You've lost sight of who you are. It's been weeks since you actually created a new gun, I said. And it was true. He'd been more obsessed with being well known for doing something great than with actually doing something great.
It was a dark point in my life.
Thankfully, High Five listened to me and got to work on what would eventually become the Kerblaster. You a fan of the Kerblaster? That was always my favorite. That and the Flacker, which I know a lot of people hate. But there's more to combat than just brute efficiency in this old lady's eyes. Style counts for something. And there's nothing quite like filling the air with tiny little explosions. It's like a fireworks show, except the deaths aren't as sad and unexpected. Actually, that reminds me, now that you're here, I wanted to throw some ideas at you for feedback. I'm a playwright in my spare time, and I'm trying to write a story about an up-and-coming tournament fighter who tries to find love in a gladiatorial arena. And I figure you've got a lot of experience, so your feedback could really be valuable. So the play is called Broken Hearts and Broken Necks. Scene 1. Fade in on an arena, just after a fight. Body parts litter the stage. A lone warrior stands in the middle of the stage, a spotlight illuminating her blood-stained armor. She stands, holding her sword triumphantly aloft. Valkyrie. Is there no warrior who can challenge me? Must I be destined to spend my life as the strongest, the bravest, the most invincible warrior this galaxy has seen? For I am Valkyrie, scourge of the gladiatorial games! Exit Valkyrie as she shakes her head in despair. From stage left enter Noble, a janitor with a heavy heart and an even heavier conscience. He begins sweeping the body parts into a pen, which is colored green, and remember that because that's a symbol of the color that will come back. Until melancholy overtakes him. He drops his push probe to the floor and falls to his knees before delivering a heart-wrenching. Or and not now. Even if I attempt to escape the past with honesty, must I live forever as a dog, sweeping up the trash of others, hide my shame and avoid my pursuers? Must I forever remain on the periphery of joyful combat, ever watchful, never participating? Valkyrie re-enters the stage. I heard a noise. Older. Was nothing but the wails of those souls released from their bodies. Souls that wail in agony and triumph. What have they to wail about? Their agonies are over, ended at the point of my sword. Mine! For it is gold. No, darling, listen. If only I were able to tell her my true identity, I would give her a fight she would not soon forget. Back to Valkyrie. Yes, ma'am, boredom is the true tragedy. May you one day find challenge in combat. Stupid. Nodon picks up a giant two-armed bastard sword with almost no effort. Valkyrie whispered. What is this? Excellent. Stage left. Valkyrie. What strength this janitor possessed? Who is he to pick up a bastard sword with but 2 fingers? What hidden power does he hold? What secrets does he keep? I will endeavor to uncover his past, in the hopes that our swords may cross in battle! Excellent. Scene 2. The the interior of the governor's house. The table is set with myriad teas and biscuits. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even ask you for the feedback on the first scene. Did you like it? Oh, wonderful. I'll continue then. Scene 2.
Бля, я
The
нет хотел
governess
нажать.
enters from stage left.
Сюда нажал?
I
Да.
refuse to respond to these absurd accusations. Her husband looks at her quizzically. Governor, and what accusations may those be? Governess. Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm ready to get feedback on the play yet. But what about you? What are you up to? Tell Grandma Flexington all about it. I bet you've had some amazing adventures. Mr. Torg told me about the time you all played bunkers and badasses together. He said it was one of the most fun and welcoming experiences of his life.
Grandpa! You're embarrassing me!
Sorry, sweetie, but really, you and the Vault Hunters are his first real pals. It wasn't easy for Mr. Torg to make friends at school when he had facial hair at age 8, pecs at 8.5, and dead parents by age 9. People found him intimidating, but I told him that he should be thankful for the fact that he looks different. Anyone who wouldn't be friends with you based on appearance wouldn't be a very good friend anyway. But he really does like hanging out with all of you. Most people these days want Torg to pose for pictures or blow something up by flexing at it. It's not often he gets to sit down and play games with people. Oh, speaking of games, did you play Going Back to the House yet? It's a new echo simulation about exploring a log cabin you lived in when you were a kid. There's no violence or anything. You just walk around looking at cereal boxes and remembering people you made out with. I really like where Echo Sims have gone in the past few years, don't you? There seem to be a lot more of them with interesting things to do beyond shooting people, and the writing has gotten so tight and concise. For instance, did you ever play The Samurai's Marker? The whole game's story was delivered through haiku. Did Zero write it or something? No, I'm just joshing. I know you're too busy for that. But oh yeah, I was playing at the end of the pointed gun last night on my Echo Sim player, and wow, is that funny. It's about a guy who punches people and smacks himself in the face with doors. Easily one of the best punch-related comedy sims ever. But oh, I'm really looking forward to this game called Robot Hunter Assault Squadron, which is this big randomized survival game about throwing bottles at trees and accidentally scaring birds. In the demo version, I scared a bird so hard it died. 10 out of 10 in my book. But what kind of things do you do for fun? You play any sports? You look like you might be into some of the more extreme stuff, like spine hurdling or psycho head volleyball. I knew an athlete a lot like you when I was younger. Her name was Nijo, and she was especially gifted at the giblet toss. That's an old pastime we had back when I was younger. Idea was you'd punch a convict, and then see how far you could make their viscera fly across a big field. You got points based on distance and the size of the viscera. She won the final round of the giblet toss championship by getting a left eyeball to cross the 300-meter mark. They said she was juicing with iridium, but I think they were just angry that she dethroned the reigning champ, misogynistic Jeff. People really liked him for some reason. Hey, what's your favorite food? Mine's burgers, perfect. People look at you like you're a pleb or something when you say you like burgers, but just think of all the things you do. Play around with the pot. What sides you have? You ever have a burger with veggie chips? Gosh, I all but forgot about fries for about a year after I discovered the veggie chip combo. And I'm not a vegetarian or anything, but those veggie patties they make on the more upper class worlds are crazy good. Better than real meat if you cook it right. Mr. Torg tried to be vegetarian once after he saw a fluff bear get run over by a truck. How long did you last again?
12 seconds!
Barely even finished the word vegetarian before he lunged at a skag chew I was holding in my left hand. Nearly lost a finger. Granted, he's always been partial to skag chews or skag bacon. Don't know why, since I always felt like skags tasted like old tires and vomit. But to each his own. Taste is a funny thing. People say your taste buds get more refined as time goes on, but they actually get worse and worse. So when Mr. Torg used to refuse vegetables as a kid, it's because he was actually tasting how awful they were. When we old folks eat vegetables, we're only okay with it because we can't taste all the gross vitamins and stuff. Granted, and vitamins are what have kept me going for as long as I've been going. You get enough B12 in your system and you can headbutt a freight train without so much as a bruise. That reminds me, I need to get my pills ready for the rest of the week. I have one of those little metal containers split into different sections for each day. It's really helpful. And the sides are sharp enough that I can use it to ward off burglars if I need to. What else do I have to do this week? Probably head to the bazaar, pick up some frozen spider and flanks. Gotta bring my coat though, because it gets kind of chilly in the freezer section. What else do I need? Oh, I need Schwartzman's candy drops. Gosh, those are delicious. They're so smooth and sweet. Just thinking about them, I could go for one right now, couldn't you? Do you think you could go find me one?
Какой долгий диалог был. Я думал, сейчас засну.
Да, отлично. Пацан даст еще бакс.
High quality, low prices, and no questions. May it help you kill many thieves. Thanks for the scratch. Lovely. I'm sure we'll be doing something.
That's a Schwartzman candy drop. Grab it for me, will ya? Oh, I can taste it already.
Rain on my shoes. I like it.
Oh, wonderful. Bring it back here and I'll finish my story.
Скорее послушайте.
Надеюсь, надо закончить рассказ сейчас.
Да, еще один бакс даст. Потом третий.
Надеюсь, третьего не будет рассказа.
Я тоже надеюсь, потому что ты заставляешь их слушать.
Я думал, он будет не таким длинным.
Thank you so much! I'll eat this later while sitting by the fireplace telling Mr. Torg stories of days gone by. There's just nothing like a good roaring fireplace, is there? Something healing and safe. Maybe that's why our family likes explosions so much. They're basically just big fireplaces. Every explosion feels just like coming home. Oh, maybe that'd be a good slogan for the Torg Corporation. Don't you think? High five? Oh, don't be silly. It's a wonderful slogan and you know it. I used to come up with slogans for a living when I was in my teens. I came up with the jingle for Professor Gunsight's Can't Miss Scopes. How'd it go again? Oh, yeah! If you try to shoot but you miss a lot, then give Professor Gunsight Scopes a shot. Ha! And then they played a gunshot sound effect and someone going, ah! It was cute. But gosh, I've been talking for a while now, haven't I? Thanks for bringing your friends to listen to an old woman ramble for a while. I can't tell you how great it is to have somebody new to talk to, especially a vault hunter. Oh, and one more thing. Just something about vaults and the end of the universe. Anyway, here. I always spoil my friends, just like I spoiled my grandson.
1300.
Enjoy it! Conversation!
Я пойду облик
When you
смотреть.
think murder, think Marcus Munitions. Come back anytime.
Нет, такую я не одену.
Слушайте, тебя в этом видите.
Ну, он реально стрёмный. Так. Ну чё, крошка Тина, да?
А чё было в священной лощине?
Я не знаю.
Это кладбище с Бахой. Да, это кладбище.
Да, мы
с
тут
Бахой.
были, мы тут были, мы тут были. Ну все, больше ничего нет, короче. Начинаем крошку Тину надо проходить. Я за.
Самогонный завод — это про свадьбу, да?
Да,
Точно.
на том стриме проходили. О, да. Самое крутое дополнение.
Once upon a time, the Vault Hunters played a game.
The world is on the brink of going boom boom. This is our most desperate hour. Unless we make a stand here and now, we gonna die. Now. Roll for initiative!
What's initiative?
It says which order we attack in.
I punched the initiative.
What's going on? I wasn't paying attention.
Tina, why don't you start over?
Welcome, fine ladies, to your first session of the most coolest game in world, Bunkers and Badasses! As your bunker master, I will be spinning today's tale of fantasy and...
Wait, why the hell are we playing this kid's game?
Oh, you know, maybe because... Shut the hell up, Morty!
Tina? She's right, though. Shut up.
Well, our vault hunting buddies beat the slamma-jamma out of that Hyperion informant downstairs. I thought we could play a game. Now, pick your characters. You got the Necromancer, the Commando, the Siren...
Siren. Dibs. My siren's name is Brick, and she is the prettiest.
Tina, why don't we just start now and figure that out later?
Come on, girl. You know we gotta wait for Roland before we start.
Tina, Roland's... You know Roland's not coming, right? He's not here anymore.
Yeah, he's probably running late or something. We'll just start now. So, like I said... Roll for initiative, suckers! You arrive at the docks of Flame Rock Refuge. This place used to be really nice, until the handsome sorcerer messed everything up.
I say we head toward the town to investigate.
It's a
Приятный
lovely day for
пейзаж.
Flame Rock Refuge, a far cry from...
Wait, didn't you just say the sorcerer messed up the town? Why would things be lovely?
Whoops. What I meant to say is, it's eternal night, and you hear spooky music, and the whole area kind of smells like butts and dead people. I smell butts and dead people. Suddenly you're
Уже не
attacked
так
by a horde
весело.
of skeletons. They start shooting at you.
This could be
О, скелеты из Карима.
Awesome.
Нет. кстати, из Моровинда, походу.
This could be
Ah.
the beginning of something awesome.
Не играл в Моровит, но тебе виднее. Так, они что-то мощные, да? 35 левел.
You get close to the entrance to Flame Rock Refuge, but suddenly... The handsome sorcerer's pet dragon appears! Surprise attack!
Oh, I want to smack it.
You try to attack the dragon, but your attacks do nothing! The dragon attacks and... I can fix this! Critical hit!
Great. Are we done now?
Tina, you can't start your campaign with a boss fight. Players can't win.
Touche. Okay, everybody back up!
I wanted to kill something.
Okay, how about a new boss? He's a skeleton. And his name is... Mr. Bony Pants Guy?
I am Mr. Bodie Pants Guy.
Does that work?
This pleases me.
Alright, the road to Flame Rock Refuge is open. You should go there. Go, go, go.
Я не буду забирать пистолет-пулемет.
А там что-нибудь было еще?
Да вроде нет.
Love you, bot.
Да, и правда, ничего не было.
Лево тоже ничего.
Я уж подумал, что с крысой играю.
Да ладно, ладно. Если что-то было, я бы и сказал.
Так я и думаю.
Он блок ставил. Щитом. Ну, ничего не вышло. Каменный голем. Пойдем завалим.
Блин, их там полно, пошли в квест.
Ладно.
И вообще спать хочу.
Ну сейчас зайдем до убежища и сделаем перерыв. До завтра.
А сколько ты завтра будешь?
Ну, в обед точно буду. После 12. Может в 11 даже. Мне напишу тебе в мыло, если что. Получится раньше.
Есть информация, что браузер Firefox не столь надежен. Я тут
Actually, it's overrated anyway.
что он устанавливает программку для обновления. И она, короче, умеет УАК включать. Вот контроль учетных записей. Которая спрашивает, надо ли что-то устанавливать. Или нет.
Alright, let's keep this going.
Да ладно, я не знал.
Как и я. Потом как?
М. 35-й. Ну, мой короче инвентарь. И ты теперь не пользуешься Firefox, да, Леха, уже?
Может быть, и не буду пользоваться. Неужели опять на оперу возвращаться?
На оперу я точно быть с тобой возвращаться. Я просто к Firefox привык на самом деле уже.
You've entered the town of Flame Rock Refuge. In the distance, you see the town's scouting blimps, always alert in case of battles and stuff. What you gonna do now?
Stop playing this game?
Let's talk to some townfolk.
A grand idea.
Огненный камень.
They say the sorcerer can raise
Убежище.
Угу.
Ладно, короче.
The queen had gone.
Давай поиграем потом завтра тогда.